Hey, Tom. Hey, you remember that time we protected and defended the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, when we were walking down that residential street and we decided to open fire on American citizens as they were standing on their front porch? Okay, before I go over this article right here and this news story, I want to give you the original poster from Twitter right here. And before I even go over that, I want you to remember what Thomas Jefferson said. He said, when the government fears the people, there's liberty. When the people fear the government, there's tyranny. So let me ask you a question. As you watch this, is this the government fearing the people or the people fearing the government? Watch this.
No, there's more. Look at this. They just keep coming.
Go! Go inside! Get inside! Get inside! Get inside! Get in your house now! Let's go! Light them up! Go inside now! Get in the house!
Did you hear that? Light them up. Let's listen to that again. Light them up.
Get inside! Get in your house now! Let's go! Light them up! Go inside now! Get in the house!
Get in, get in, get in, get in, get in, get in! Get in!
Oh, God, that hurt. You good?
Are you okay?
Right on the fucking crotch.
Are you okay? You got hit?
I'm good. They're booked for that, dude. What?
Okay.
Okay, so they're shooting them with green paint canisters. It says, share widely, National Guard and Minneapolis Police Department sweeping our residential street. This is America, guys. Don't stop being shocked about this. We can't be apathetic or indifferent to what's going on. These are troops, armed troops in riot gear in our streets, patrolling residential areas, forcing people into their house with gunfire. Yeah, they're just shooting paint canisters, but they're forcing people into their houses. Shooting paint canisters at us on our own front porch, yelling, light them up. Now listen to how they handled this on this news story right here. This is from CBS Minnesota. The title of the article is Light 'em Up. Video appears to show law enforcement shooting paint rounds at Minneapolis residents on their porch. This is martial law, by the way. Martial law.
This is coming to us via Twitter. This is coming from the Whittier neighborhood. I don't know if there's sound on it or not, but these are police officers moving through the streets of the Whittier neighborhood.
Oh, I did see this. This is...
Get inside! Get in your house now! Let's go! Light them up! Go inside now! Get in the house!
Get in, get in, get in, get in, get in, get in! Get in!
Oh, God, that hurt. You good?
Are you okay?
Right on the crotch.
Are you okay? You got hit?
I'm good. They're booked for that, dude. What?
So we'll replay it, but you can get an idea of just how serious people are, where they're literally walking down the street, and if you pay attention, you'll hear the police say, get in the house. You'll hear several commands, and then you'll hear, light them up, and then that's when you get the fire.
You would expect this in Russia. You would expect this in communist China. But this is happening in the supposed land of the free, home of the brave. This is not the land of the free, home of the brave. It hasn't been in a long time. It's the land of the fee and home of the slave.
We'll play it again.
you know, this is...
Get in your house now! Let's go! Light them up! Go inside now! Get in the house!
Get in, get in, get in, get in, get in, get in!
I thought slavery ended. It didn't. These people are being forced to be slaves in their own home at the barrel of a government gun, with men roving the streets, a band of thugs roaming the streets in riot gear. Militarized riot gear.
Get in!
What were you going to say, Amelia?
I was going to say, I had seen this tweet, somebody had tweeted this to me, and she's saying that this is obviously National Guard and Minneapolis police sweeping our residential street, shooting paint canisters at us on our own front porch.
Right, and it's tough, right, because we heard a report. We talked to some people at Pimento Restaurant earlier, Pat, and they were like, everyone in the Whittier neighborhood, this is video from earlier in the evening, folks, everyone in the Whittier neighborhood is on neighborhood watch, and people are keeping an eye out because we want it to be safe, and we're all dialed into one another. One woman told us she was
Yeah, that's understandable. Form a neighborhood watch, and in the spirit of the free market, neighbor watches neighbor, and you set up a neighborhood watch. You don't have law enforcers. You don't have people in military gear. You don't have the Minneapolis or Minnesota National Guard walking down the street, heavily armed, with body armor on, shooting at residents on their front porch.
armed, and she's like, if anyone comes through here that we don't know, we're stopping them, and that's what we're doing. So you probably think maybe their intentions were good being on their porch, where the police are like, hey.
Intentions were good being on their front porch. They're free people in a supposedly free country, Americans on their front porch, being forced inside their house at the barrel of a gun. Give me a break.
We gave you a couple warnings. The letter of the law says curfew, be inside. And there was the conflict over it there. I mean, I can tell.
That's what I can't stand about order followers. They take these oaths of office, which includes the Constitution and the laws of the state and of the governor. Look, it's either one or the other. What if one law conflicts with the other law? What if your law that you, what if the oath that you took to the state or to the governor conflicts with constitutional law, the Bill of Rights, the right to be secure in your persons, houses, papers, and effects? These roving, riot gear wearing soldiers were not ensuring the security and safety of the American people right there. Oh, they were claiming to. Well, we're just doing this to keep you safe. Get inside your house. No, it's not about keeping you safe. It's about controlling you.
I think those folks think they're doing anything wrong being on their porch, and the cops are like, we want you inside. So, I mean, talk about the tenor and tone.
Listen to what this guy says again.
And we're all dialed into one another. One woman told us she was armed, and she's like, if anyone comes through here that we don't know, we're stopping them, and that's what we're doing. So you probably think maybe their intentions were good being on their porch, where the police are like, hey, we gave you a couple warnings. The letter of the law says curfew, be inside. And there was the conflict over it there. I mean, I can tell. I don't think those folks think they're doing anything wrong being on their porch, and the cops are like, we want you inside. So, I mean, talk about the tenor and tone changing dramatically from last night.
Well, that is a remarkable piece of video, watching troops march down a city street in Minneapolis. And
shoot at someone on their own porch.
The reporters asked the Commissioner of Corrections about this tonight, Commissioner Snell, who was handling all the duties tonight, and he said that people are getting caught up in it, that inadvertently, that many police are wearing masks, of course. They're heavily armed. They've got a body.
Yeah, they're wearing masks so they can escape being identified and prosecuted. But of course, cops don't really get prosecuted anyway, do they? Because they have that magical power called qualified immunity.
Vests on, Kevlar vests, and they, in some cases, people have been whacked on their legs with batons on their own porches. So that seems...
They're literally treating you and I and all Americans as criminals for just standing on your front porch or being out in your driveway or being out at the street or breaking curfew. They're treating you as a criminal, and they're punishing you as though you're a criminal.
Pretty extreme, but these police and the curfew order was asking people to stay inside, apparently with the doors closed and locked.
That's not asking people to stay inside. That's ordering them to stay inside. And if you don't stay inside, well, we're going to shoot at you. We're going to light you up.
Even people who are protecting their neighborhood. So there is some misunderstanding, I think, by a lot of us as to how far this goes if I'm standing on my front porch. But I was startled to see that video.
Well, we better be startled. Here's the deal, guys. This right here, these troops marching in the street, this is martial law. And this is exactly what they want to acclimate you to. This is the frog boiling slowly in the water, only they're really heating it up faster now. They're acclimating us to an atmosphere of total control. That's top-down authoritarian control. Where have we heard that before? Oh yeah, Rockefeller's lockstep, a world of tighter top-down government control and more authoritarian leadership. That's what this is, guys. This is Operation Lockstep, authored by the Rockefellers back in 2010. This right here, just look at this. This right here is what happens when you give up a little essential liberty to obtain a little politically promised security, which never comes. You don't get the security you gave up your liberty to obtain. You know what you get? You get despotism. You get authoritarianism. You get totalitarianism. You get total control. Jefferson said, the price of freedom is eternal vigilance, and indifference to this notion is the means by which the people will and have secured their own oppression. This is not the land of the free, home of the brave. This is the land of the fee, home of the slave. Please share this video with everybody you know. We cannot continue to let this happen to America. Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the Google Thought Police in the comments section below. Don't forget to subscribe to my private email list through my website, highimpactflix.com. If you want to support more content like this, grab one of these hard-hitting, conversation-starting shirts from the store. I'll see you guys in the next heavily censored shadow ban video.
Deaf and dumb thespians take the silent stages. With their cobweb throats, they can't sing any notes, so the audience begins dispersing. The actors get pissed, they start cursing. They're tired of rehearsing. They're ready to do the damn show. They're ready to go. You know what I mean? Fuck the quarantine, fuck COVID-19, fuck a fucking vaccine. Social engineering at the center stage. About to go full circle when we turn the page. Miss Deborah Burks, you old bitch, putting COVIDs on obits and certificates, it's ridiculous. We should be enraged and irate at our newfound fate and change the current state of mind controls. As Mr. Gates pulls the levers of power from his ivory tower, he is a Zionist, a mad scientist. With unlimited funds, we need to run or we need to get some more guns. And we need to do that shit while it's possible, cause pretty soon I swear it's not gonna be optional. Are you hearing me? The wealthy be stealthy, ushering in this tyranny. I don't want a mask, give me an Uzi.